It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see this team's superstar wide receiver. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. Who knows what we're in store for here? And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the former third-round pick from Colorado State. It's Garrett Grayson.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in Week 1. With 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Barnes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. So they bring out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. But you look at this defense, currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be number 1 and to be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really got something to talk about.
That's the challenge. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Looking to throw. Sanders. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Martin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Back to throw. Sanders. A complete once again to Watson. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They'll look to throw again. And Watson has it right side. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They run with Jackson out of the gun. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Here we go now on 1st and goal. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Seven nothing is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Handoff now. It's Gray with it.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Now Gray.
When you look at this defense,
they sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
A first catch there for the NFL's leading receiver in Week 1 in terms of yardage. Also a first down. On the run, this is Gray.
Down at the 25. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
Second down, another carry for Jackson.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. To throw is Sanders from the gun on 3rd down.
He finds his receiver, Watson.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Now a handoff inside. It's Jackson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 40.
Looking to throw. Sanders. In trouble, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and forever.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They run again here with Gray. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Barnes.
And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And what a big-time play there. 42 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw. Sanders. He finds his man complete. That's Martinez. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Looking to throw. Sanders.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play.
They got his man complete. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. 33 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now with Gray. A solid stiff arm. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Barnes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And touchdown. Sean Mannion. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done.
Taking it right down Broadway. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there. 73 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Gray. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 1 now from the 21. Looking to throw. Barnes. And that is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
To the sideline and incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. They run again with Jackson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Over the middle, complete. That's Lewis. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Martin. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Here's Sanders from the gun on third down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And his kick is good. And the lead now 11, 24-13. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun.
There he goes left side. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation.
Gray pushing his way into the end zone. Touchdown. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. This offense back to work now late in this first half, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining.
Now Sanders throwing to start the drive.
He'll complete this one to Watson.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 4. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll look to throw here on first down.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. As Sanders has it poked free.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to our EA studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are out in front in that one. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
That'll give them 8 that time. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And they'll take over here following the interception with good field position and a chance to take the lead with a touchdown.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And this pass caught by Gray.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Barnes. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And this one is right through. And that'll bring him back within a point.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. But now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Sanders.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Looking to throw. Sanders.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And we got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right of the yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Gray. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33.
Here is third down and 4.
Back to throw. Barnes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Now, fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line.
And boy, before the drive even starts, here's a timeout. Wow. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
Now a 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, Sanders. This complete to Martin.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
On third down, this is Jackson. Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Throwing to start the drive. Barnes. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Barnes.
Able to find Gray here.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run on first down. Gray, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw. Barnes. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
Shoves him aside, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
81 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10, as they've got things rolling on this drive. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll try the left side. It's Gray, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
The USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 games and highlights will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2025.
And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
The USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 matchup is now live streaming on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2025.
Back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the fourth quarter. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Now a give, it's Jackson. Able to slither by. Down to the 10. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run in
Week 2 Pittsburgh Maulers 1-0 at Denver Dynamite 1-0.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on
the USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 matchups will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2025.
In a 7-point game in this fourth quarter, plenty of time on the clock. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Barnes. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. Looking to throw. Barnes. And it's caught by the tight end Cameron. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Up the middle they go. It's Gray. And he'll take this ahead.
Week 2 New York Guardians 1-0 at Washington Federals 1-0.
Looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 21, here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Barnes. His throw caught right around the 6. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Week 2 Chicago Blitz 0-1 at Houston Roughnecks 0-1.
As they come up on 1st and goal. Touchdown! From 3 yards out. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back.
The USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 game matchups of the week will be coming up next.
And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So this drive spans 7 plays.
Now this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away.
The lane opens here, he's past the 30.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Sanders now throwing to start the drive. And Watson has it right side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Back to throw now on 1st down. And Martin's got it complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5.
On the give, here comes Jackson. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Sanders.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Martin. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
On the carry, it's Jackson. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw. Barnes. That'll be caught by Rodgers. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, Gray. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Back to throw. Barnes.
And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Down the left sideline.
And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his 2nd one.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Jackson will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is going to be incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
Here we go, a big play in a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
And no hesitation on the decision to go on 4th and goal from the 1, and they punch it in.
And I do believe that field position factors in there too, because even if they don't get in, you're going to force the other guys to go the full 99 yards. So to me, a good calculated risk, which actually paid off.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
The situation for them offensively as follows. Down by 10, a minute 35 to go. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Flores. Looking to throw. Barnes. He finds his man, complete. That's Flores.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking for Gray, and he's got him.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down.
They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Here's 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the home team here, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.